Okay, we should be live and recording.
All right. Well, if that is indeed the case, I'll go ahead and call the Cocke County Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order for Monday, March 1st. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Clay Blazer,
Here.
Angela Heskey-Grooms,
Here.
Rich Lloyd,
I'm here.
Crystal Ottinger,
Here.
Norman Smith.
And Norman did say that he would try to be on. He just might be a little late.
Okay, we do have a quorum without Norman.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the previous minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
I have a first and a second. Since this is an electronic meeting, we do have to do a roll call.
Clay Blazer,
Yes.
Angela Heskey-Grooms,
Yes.
Rich Lloyd,
Yes.
Crystal Ottinger,
Yes.
Norman Smith. Thank you.
All right, that carried. Next item on the agenda is the budget amendments and transfers for the county, and you should have got those in your email.
Yes. The first one there is from Chancery Court, and it's they're wanting to purchase some new chairs. I don't know how many have been in Chancery Court lately, but you remember those black chairs that sit across the window. Craig's looking to replace those, so that's what he's wanting to do there. And then the rest of it is Sheriff's Department and Drug Fund, and I'll let CJ take over any questions for that.
CJ, that bottom one, the large one.
I'll
Is
call you
that-
back, okay? All right, see you, buddy. Go ahead.
I think you sent out something to the CLB, but not the budget committees. On that large one for 89,000.
Transfer,
Yep.
yeah, the $89,000 transfer, over the past few months, we have had forfeitures coming in that has been awarded to the county for the drug fund. This is drug fund assets where we've seized drug seizure money. And the state of Tennessee over the past few months has started directing all this money over the forfeitures. We usually hold that money for at least 90 days to make sure that the appeal processes and everything is completely out of the way. Then we transfer that money into the drug fund law enforcement supplies. The reason why it's so high, one of those is actually, I think, around $55,000. It was one seizure, and that was awarded, and that's why the amount's so large.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions on any of the transfers for the county?
I move we accept them.
I'll second.
All right, we have a first and a second to approve the county transfers and amendments. And if we'll do a roll call, please, April.
Okay, Clay Blazer,
Yes.
Angela Heskey-Grooms,
Yes.
Rich Lloyd,
Yes.
Crystal Ottinger,
Yes.
Norman Smith. Thank you.
All right, that motion carried. Next on the agenda is the budget amendments and transfers for the school. And those were emailed out as well. And it does look like there's someone from the school system on the line if anybody does have any questions.
Deborah, if you were there, I mean, I see that can you just sort of let everybody know what the AWARE grant is?
Can you hear me, Clay?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
It's a 5-year grant. It's a federal grant from the state. The social workers that go out to the school and work with the students. And somehow when we were awarded the grant, we're kind of on a strange fiscal year. We go from May through April.
All right. I mean, I was somewhat familiar with that. I just was wanting to make sure that everybody kind of knew what that particular grant did. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've been doing a lot of stuff with the food trucks and et cetera, right? That we've had come around. Is that not? Am I not understanding that correctly?
I'm not sure if they have. That's Save the Children and maybe Family Resource. I think the WARE grant. I think they've been doing a lot of with the COVID. We have 3 social workers and the director, and I'm not sure if they may have something to do with the food trucks, but it's mostly the Save the Children, I think, that do the food trucks.
Okay. I'm sorry then. I misunderstood. Thank you.
They've been doing a lot on behavioral issues and kind of getting those social workers out to the kids, especially as they've been dealing with having to not be at school and not seeing their friends and stuff. I think it's been a lot of their focus.
Yes, you're correct.
All right. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Clay Blazer,
Yes.
Angela Heskey Green,
Yes.
Rich Lloyd,
Yes.
Crystal Ottinger,
Yes.
Norman Smith. Thank you.
All right, that motion carried as well. The next item on the agenda is the refunding of a 2016 bond.
Yes,
And you
I
should have
don't
got a
have,
copy of that. Heather's going to go over it with you.
yeah, the copy that you have includes not only the refunding, but also that landfill bond that the CLB approved last month. What we would like to do, and I've discussed this with Scott at length, he's not on the call today, but him or someone from his company will be there at the CLB meeting. But by refunding the 2016 bond, which is about 7.4 million, basically refunding means if you're thinking about a mortgage on your house, you're refinancing. So just like we have done previously, approximate savings 223,000 roughly by refunding this bond. But if we put it with the landfill bond that we're trying to take out and issue it all at once for 9 million or 9.9 million roughly, it saves on the issuing costs of the little landfill bond, because as Scott told me, that the smaller the bond, the harder it is to get the lower interest rates and the more issuance cost there is. But if you're dealing with kind of like buying in bulk, when you're having these big bonds like this and we put them together, we have a better chance at getting the lower interest rates. And it saves about 50,000 on issuance costs for the landfill bond because we're putting them together.
So basically, we're just refinancing then. Right?
The one bond, yes. Basically, we're refinancing that one bond and then putting it together with the landfill bond and then issuing them together so that we can get a better rate, hopefully.
Makes sense to me.
Is the timeline going to work out on that?
Yes. If we do this
Okay.
this month, it will work out.
And Heather, I mean, I'm just making sure that I'm right on this. You're saying that that's about a total savings of how much?
223,000 roughly.
Okay.
Plus the 50.
Estimated, yes.
Yeah, plus the 50.
Plus 50
Okay.
estimated. Now when they actually go out for issuance, it can fluctuate just a little, but that's the estimated.
Okay.
I don't see any reason not to do it.
Me either, I agree.
Do we need a motion to send this on the full board?
Yes.
Yes, please.
I move that we do this. So
And
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and if we could please have a roll call vote.
Clay Blazer,
Yes.
Angela Husky Green,
Yes.
Rich Lloyd,
Yes.
Crystal Ottinger,
Yes.
Norman Smith. Thank you.
All right, does anybody have anything else before the last item, which is adjournment?
I'd just like to tell the committee that I am getting back from the departments all their budget requests, and I'm going to start working on that towards the end of this week, and hopefully have that ready to go in April. So start getting prepared to work on the budget come April.
We just finished doing the budget.
Doesn't it feel like it?
Heather, the only thing, and I don't know how we can go about this, but I mean, I'm thinking, this is maybe the second year that we've done the budget this way. Is that right, Mayor? I mean, all right,
Yeah.
well, I mean, with us looking at though, on the past 2 years, we've had sort of one of those instances again where I don't know how we can stress, but like once this budget deadline is passed, we can't have people starting hearing that somebody else asked for, I mean, like the late minute budget additions that we have had that have sort of come in. I mean, and I know that there is obviously you don't want to say that there's not a reason why we couldn't have those, but you kind of don't want people to, when they start seeing what somebody else has asked for or something else that comes about, that they're coming in and wanting to ask for new information. Does that make sense? What I'm talking about? Do you?
You want a cutoff? You
Yeah,
want a full-fledged cutoff?
I mean, I think so. Don't you all? I'm just sort of looking at it because like, it seems like if we're not very careful, I think if we give them a preliminary budget, I mean, and then like even, let's just even say, I don't even care if you give them the preliminary budget of April 1st, but then by May 1st is the last day to ask for anything for the next budget year. You know what? I mean, now, again, with that being said, I know that there could be something that would come, if we have a major disaster or something where you would have there's always an exception to that, but.
I agree, Clay. Everybody knows it's coming. It's a yearly thing, and I agree 100%.
Yeah, I just feel like that if we're not careful, then people will always trickle in with something. I mean, and again, I think if you say May 1st or whatever date that you all want to go along with, I mean, I just think that would be, we need to just sort of put it at the end or else.
I agree as well, because I mean, Heather gives great specific direction. This is what, turn your budget in, ask for what you want. So that's what they should have done. And then if they see that, another department has asked for a vehicle or whatever it may be, then, it must have been an afterthought because you didn't ask for it when Heather specifically said, what are your express needs? So I'm good with a cutoff date.
And one of my things, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not going to point out any particular department because I couldn't even tell you which one it would be. I think a lot of times what it has is we'll have one department head who may have asked for a raise for someone because they're changing position. It usually involves personnel and changes in money and then whenever that was discussed and we never even said we were in agreement with it, then we start seeing every department has, somebody who a challenge in personnel. I mean, and maybe and I don't know, I'm going to throw this out there too for the group. I mean, we might want to just let them know that, generally speaking, historically, I mean, we've either given raises across the board to everyone or I mean, if you send that for an individual employee or like for your employees a lot of times, like somebody might ask for a 2% raise, somebody will ask for a 4% raise, somebody will ask for, I mean, that's going to be across the board. And if that's something, maybe just to let us know that, that's what they would like to have, but without including that in a budget, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I had sent out about a month ago to all the departments, a spreadsheet and said, here's last year's budget, kind of projected out. They were supposed to be due to me today. Now I've got some stragglers and some people that have talked to me about different situations. So I've got a few more coming in, but when I start looking at it, I know I have one department who's talking about a raise for a specific employee, but I have let them know, again, traditionally it's all or nobody.
Yeah, I mean, unless, and I won't say that there's not ever going to be, but I mean, unless it's a specific, you know, I mean, like somebody who's doing the job of two people. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be instances where that would happen. But I know that that's something that we need to be considering about. And I hope that Deborah at the school system's not getting too nervous about having to have a budget turned in already.
She's gone.
left
She,
us.
she panicked and left.
She's left
Oh,
us.
okay, all right, then, yeah, so then we don't have to worry about Deborah, all right.
Yeah, I've talked to Deborah. The school's looking to hopefully have theirs in by May 15th, but we
Okay.
always give the school more time than the county anyway, because of the EP funding and things that they have to get together.
Okay.
Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. I'll make it.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, so we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
Have a
Bye-bye.
blessed day.